just feel like I want regular sex, you know?
Yeah.
And then sometimes there is this thing of peer pressure. My friends are getting married, my friends all have babies. So when you get into these things, then in the long run, you start realizing, marriage was more than sex. It wasn't now the sex is now here, but I no longer enjoy. It's 1 week, the thing is gone. So I think that's why it comes. We do not have the clear value of the relationships while we're there. So in the long run, someone starts feeling like, I'm just wasting my time. I'm wasting all these things. And then we quit.
But
do you agree with that?
There's one thing I always see nowadays. You know, we don't have proper reasons of being in a relationship. Like nowadays.
You just like someone and you feel like, I want
so basically what my sister is saying, you know, me, I disagree with it because these are not the current things we look at in a relationship. You can look at the age, but nowadays the girls and the boys of nowadays don't mind about that. Like mostly the reasons I've seen with the ladies nowadays is they look at the material part of it. I promise you, 100% of ladies nowadays.
100.
100. It's not even 50. I give it 100.
Wait to say something.
I give it 100. Reason being, most of the ladies nowadays are from a background whereby their families don't provide to them. You understand?
Yeah.
I have been in relationships. The relationships I've been in, I have seen challenges. Like me, basically, if I'm in a relationship, I know you from home. I don't know you from outside. I must know you from home. So that, one, I need to know your challenges, your weaknesses. Either if I can build you up or I cannot. And two, what type of a family are you from? Do you come from? This is one thing I also need to know. The third one is, I first also need to know your lifestyle outside. And you know, your parents are the first people who will tell the truth about you. So that's why it is easy for me to identify whether you're falling for me for reality or you're just falling for me for what I have. And two, I don't hide something. I don't hide things about me. You understand? Me, I tell you, this is A, this is B, this is C. So it is you to understand, who am I dating? What type of a person am I dating? Now, the reason why I'm saying my sister is not showing it, ladies nowadays, they look at what my guy is doing. Can he provide for me? Can he do this for me? Because if you look at the age bracket of it, those are the long stories we used to have with our parents. And a lady will say, this one has money, let me finish this one. And these days, there is no lady who talks about marriage. It's not there. I've not come across one. It's not there. Why do I say that? I have been in a relationship of 8 years. I need not to lie to you. The truth. 8 years. I met this lady. I met this lady when I was in secondary. You understand? 8 years. I knew her background, I knew her from home, I knew everything about her. But, really, and this is a lady, if I don't provide today, like when she tells me, quote, I want this, and I tell her purposely, I don't have this today, let me look into it. You know the English language, let me see what I can do. So by the time, not being stingy man, by the time you reach there, that before you finish it even, she'll tell you all the time when I always give you a request, you tell me blah, 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 blah. I told this lady, that's not the real part of it. What I want is, you also need to understand me financially. So basically, the challenge we have nowadays with ladies is, they don't fall for you 100%. It is either 80% or 70% of it. After that, they have a discussion. My guy is this, my guy is that. My guy is this, my guy is that. So at the end of the day, this is the same lady who is going to look at your weakness. And they have a group of discussion. They have so many advisors. So at the end of the day, you find that the lady you met 2 months ago will not be the lady you have right now. will be a different one. You understand? So age for the current generation is not the issue. A lady will decide to have a kid with you, that is done. Be a single mother. As long as there are 1 or 2 or 3 men who are outside there who are providing for her, they're good with it. And the current relationships we have, you cannot have a quota alone, man. It doesn't
So,
work.
Bishop, anyway,
Doesn't
before you go there, on behalf of ladies, would like to say, also loving a man 100% has not yielded most people like happiness, because all the time you're collecting tears and it has never ended well for most of them, and that's why now most of them resort to what they do. But that's a very sad thing about relationships today. In fact, it has changed. From relationship, we now have something called situationship, where it's just a situation with someone because of that situation, and some of the things you have explained, but would like to go deeper. Unlike the real relationship, where someone goes into it because of commitment, there's honesty, there's a lot of things that comes in. This one is virtually like empty. Someone just goes in because, I don't know, for it. There's no commitment, there's no honesty, there are no those other things. And it's what most people are into today. And when you look at married men, they're in relationship, they are married, but most of them are also in situationship. We also have a lot of young boys and young girls who are in this kind of thing called situationship. So now the big question is, why has it changed from relationship to situationship? We'll start with Owen.
I think let me actually pick up from where he stopped. You know, when you look at let's take a step, I think 30 years back, a lot of us have seen our mothers go through so much. I think that is one of the reasons why women are now building new strategies on how to protect themselves.
Okay.
You see, once bitten, twice shy.
I love how you call it protection.
Through a father, a daughter sees a husband, number one, and a father.
True.
If you find a girl today who is a single mom, for example, there's a high potential her dad was either polygamous or she was raised by a single mom. There's a trigger closer to her. It's rare for you to find girls who are raised in a complete family where there was love, where there was loyalty from the dad. It's rare for you to find them sleeping out. So that's actually where when women start telling you things like all men are the same, it's because they're actually talking about their dad. They're talking about the males around them who have raised them, and then that is why they're getting now a defensive mechanism to protect themselves. I think we have had so much here, you've seen it here. We have had people who have built their partners from, they started from zero. But then when the guy makes it, they leave this woman behind. You no longer fit for the front car. You need to go and you're behind, you're at home, you're abandoned with children. And so you realize that having seen some of these things, people would opt like, no, I'd rather get a man who will provide for me, and then I forget about the rest of the things. Provision is a man's virtue. That is biblical. Remember the man, okay, let's look at the Bible. They say the man is like God, right? Or he's a provider. And I always believe that's because when women get pregnant, we become so vulnerable, more especially in the late stages and after delivery. A woman's ability to work is not like when she's not pregnant. And so in such moment, the woman needs a man's support. And I think that's why one party gets pregnant and not the other one. So in such kind of instances, every woman will prefer a secure place. I want to be sure that when a moment like that hits me, Bishop is able to provide, right? I want to be sure that these children are able to go to school. I want to be sure that when I'm catering for these children at home, nurturing, remember mothers take about 3 years home, taking care of the children from the pregnancy moment. So the need for safety, which men grant to women, are one of the pushers of women to some of these things, girls and women, into looking for now men who are stable. Yeah.
But Bishop, let me bring this to your attention. This came from someone. It's not only women who are looking for men who are stable financially, but these days men are also looking for women who are financially stable.
True.
Because
True.
I don't know what the argument is,
True.
but make us understand. Because you people always make noise, we want men who have money, blah blah blah. Make us understand it from the point of view of a man.
You see, these are two things in one. Nowadays, the lifestyle has changed. Everyone wants to show off. You understand?
Yeah.
So, me, personally, I remember before we started this, I told you I don't want to date a broke lady. You understand? I want to have a lady who, whereby I will provide, she will provide. If I buy her a shoes, she will buy me a shirt. You understand? Because our parents, long time ago, when today my dad says I don't have, my mom will look for possible ways to provide. Now, the current generation right now, if I tell the lady I don't have money for hair, for your saloon issues, I promise you that lady will not provide. The next day, the lady will call you again.
Yes.
And she will ask you, what of the money you promised me yesterday? You understand? So, at the end of the day, the little I have, when I give you, you don't appreciate. So, like the current Arua right now, we as boys, men, the current one, even the ones who are making noise on social media everywhere, we have we have funny women out there who are always providing for us. We always attend to, one of my friends was telling me today that he has promoted the sugar mommy to the main chick.
Oh my God! Why did you read that?
Simply because
Whoa.
the sugar mommy provides more compared to the real girl. Because the real girl doesn't work. You understand? She's always waiting. Now at the end of the day, when I tell my girl today I don't have, it's a war. You understand? Because one, the girls of nowadays, they want to date a quality guy. Not like the ways our parents used to have. They grow with you. You understand? They face all those challenges that are going to come.
Era.
Yes.
Suffering is
So
not
right
common.
now, girls will look at, is my boyfriend really providing? And at the end of the day, when they find someone bigger than you, who can do better than you, my dear, you are finished material. You understand? Painted one, finished completely. You understand? So at the end of the day, we as men, we also want to look for whereby, because we don't get money every day. We don't, even if we hustle every day. Sometimes the hustle will pay, other days the hustle doesn't pay. But this is a sugar mommy, whether you like it or not. If you call her, even right now or anywhere, any day, she will say, let me send you 800k, keep it. This is for your upkeep. This is for your this. Today I want ice cream. Today you go for this. You understand? She will do it. But for your girlfriend, the assuming understanding girlfriend you have, will not do that. If she buys you a belt today, you will wait for another Valentine's Day to get such kind of a gift. You understand? So mostly we tend to have a real relationship, and then we tend to have, I call it a beachy relationship, whereby we look at where we can get from other angles if we don't provide here. Most of us have real girlfriends. That is the truth. We have. Me, I have my girlfriend. She's so understanding. If I tell her today I don't have,
you have an understanding
Yeah.
girlfriend.
She's a hustler.
Before you go on, who is an understanding girlfriend? Because we need to clear this today.
To me, I will put it in a simple way. This is a girl, if you she knows your financial status, she knows you in and out, she knows your weaknesses and challenges. And two, you have issues and you explain to her, she understands. As long as, like, for example, I always give like mine. If she gets stories about me outside, she will first bite me. Because I know the biting is correct. Even if she gets mad with me, the next day she will tell me what you did the other day was wrong. So that is what I call understanding girlfriend. Whereby, where there is problem, you have a table, you sit down and discuss. When there are challenges, you come together, you talk about it, you solve it together. Not necessarily a girl should come to you and tell you, I have this there, I can support you with this. No, it's just a word that will motivate you to do something.
Okay.
So it's not basically material things. And thirdly, it should be a prayerful girlfriend. Whereby, if you have challenges, a word from a girlfriend, whereby a girlfriend will tell you, don't cry over it. God will provide. That is a better girlfriend. You understand?
Okay.
That is what I think.
So, someone once said, as a woman, as a girlfriend, you can be understanding, but don't be understanding to a point where you're left suffering. You know, you're working out here for months, you're tolerating his unfaithfulness, you know, he's maybe beating you, you're tolerating it in the name of being an understanding girlfriend.
If I may ask, what is your main reason of being in a relationship? You're supposed to build a man, right?
Really? Help us understand.
Now, in a relationship, we're supposed to build each other.
Each other, exactly.
Which
That's
is
what
the
I'm
right
saying.
thing.
Each other.
Because I always believe, you know, when we talk about partnership, let's take it from that point of view, which they say it's partnership. And a partnership means increase. It means multiplication. It means that I become better having you in my life. Now, there is a very great difference between men and women. Now, as a man, by the way, for men, there is a secret that most of them do not know. Any man who takes good care of the females around him multiplies naturally. That is a secret most of them do not know. As long as the females around you, your wife, maybe your mother, they're very okay.
Okay.
Definitely you have the potential to increase. But you see, right now we are looking at a state where we want a 50-50. And yet a relationship can never be 50-50. Women have moments of weaknesses, which I told you, like including pregnancies. Every time as a woman, when you're pregnant, you're drawn behind, you know, because there's a year or two you're losing because you need to nurture this kid. And the man keeps going ahead. He's working. He's making a difference. You get it? So that is why the equality is going to be a little bit harder, and that's why the 50-50 is not going to come. And then he talked about something about, you know, having this sugar mommy. Do you know the challenge there? It comes with a lot of, you know, as long as you provide, you always carry the authority. And so a lot of people do not want authority. You find that now that's why a lot of men struggle, because I feel I'm the head, but now as the woman, if I'm the provider, what happens? You have to respect me. There are rules I'm going to put in your life, how you're going to operate, and definitely you will have to respect me. And those are some of the things that come about some of these things. Yeah, understanding girlfriend is there, but I think also as a man you have to play your role, and I think we need to also understand the differences of our role. Where the man's role, by the way, love is masculine. Any man who loves his woman right, you bring that woman in order. Whether, however wild she is, just love that woman right. When she feels safe, automatically she'll become a baby girl.
You see?
The reason why we are struggling with a lot of these things is because most of the women are not loved right. A lot of us had traumatic backgrounds. You know, we have seen how moms went through so much. So the next thing is when you've had a lot of these stories, you're so insecure knowing that, hey, this man will do this to me. Currently, ask conversations, the women don't believe that they're faithful men. They believe that now men are for sharing.
Yeah.
is only yours when you're here, and that is already an insecurity for a woman. She's not safe. She's not going to submit to you fully because she knows you're a public good. Sorry.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Let me add something. You know, my mother once told me that actually never told me, told my sister, actually, I'm sorry. Told my sister, you know, my sister is one person. I've always been telling her, when you have challenges, either me or mom should be your first advisor. So my mother told my sister, what you call your man is when he is with you. Listen. When the man leaves the gate and closes it, you understand? When she's outside, that's not your man. You understand what I'm saying? But when she comes home, she gives you money for school fees, for food, maybe for rentals, for other things, upkeeps. That is your man. You get it? But I want to disagree with my sister a little bit that social life, media has taken all our lifestyles.
So you believe the internet, social media has an effect on how we see love or how we love?
Yeah, with the current relationships we have, love affairs or maybe love lives we have. And two, friendship. When I am doing good to you and she is saying it, she will also want the man to do the same. You understand? So at the end of the day, if I have bought my girlfriend iPhone, she will go and tell the friend, my guy bought me iPhone. This is the same girl who will come back to you with pressure. My friend, your friend actually bought the girlfriend iPhone, so I need an iPhone. So if I don't do the same, so it means automatically I will be degraded to the another level, whereby if I don't provide, I am not responsible. So generally, right now, ladies don't want a smooth, they don't want a hardship relationship, whereby she needs to be corrected. They don't like corrections. They need soft life, whereby I need to provide. I need to take responsibilities, which I know. But at the end of the day, you also need to understand, today if I have issues with this man, where, at what position will I be financially? Being financially or anything. Because right now you're looking at, I need to dress well, I need to eat well, I need to do this well. Do my hair, do this. So at the end of the day, if you have issues with this man, for example, you conceive, it's going to be very hard for you to settle, because the settlement there is different. It's not the usual life you used to have here on the street. You get it? So that's why it is always challenging that most youths at my age, they cannot do marriage for 1 year. It's very hard. It's very hard. So, a better relationship needs to run. I need to provide. You need to provide. Today, if I have challenges, you need to overcome it. Even if a word, but 70% of ladies right now cannot give you a proper advice. They cannot. They cannot even speak to you like I usually tell my girl, talk to me like I'm your sister. I mean like I'm your brother. Or talk to me like you're my mother. Don't talk to me like a girlfriend. I want to understand when it's time for fun, let's have fun. When it's time for busy discussions, when I bring to you my challenge, talk to me. And when she comes to me, she tells me, I am facing ABCD. I tell her, do this. And there are so many, they are like ladies outside there, men have tried. You try putting them right. Today you come, you tell your girl, we have been into this, we're hustling this, I want you to do this. No girl runs the perfect business. Right now. Without like being in the right position, even if you try very hard, you put much, she will never run that business like the way you want. So at the end of the day, we have tried, we as men, we always try to put women right, even basically girls right. But there are certain lifestyles that will not change, that will not make your woman to change. But, whether you try it or not.
Bishop, I totally agree with you because recently some friends were having a conversation where a male friend, okay, this guy is well off and he has a girlfriend, so he asks his girlfriend, what can I do for you? You know, I have this capital, what kind of business can you do? And she's like, I cannot do business. So she wants a phone, she wants to do her nails, she wants to do her hair. Sometimes it's hard to defend our gender.
Not really.
Before she adds something, I want to clarify on something. I'm forgetting. Like a lady to come up with something she can do, it is 50-50. And you'll find that if you're having a girlfriend who is rural, a girl who has grown up into challenges, 10% of them will understand. When they get into a relationship with a guy who can provide, when you try to put sense into them, they will pick. But there are certain, like in the urban section, when you tell them, I want you to do this because you're idle, they will not. And the ones who have grown up in the wealthy family, they are worst. I want you to pick that.
Yeah.
And then there are others who have been raised by single mothers or single parents. Those ones, because of the challenges they face, when they get into a proper relationship where there is small wealth, added wealth, small one, they will not use it properly, but they will use it to overcome what they have. Why am I saying this is because I have seen it with a friend of mine. He tried very hard to put the lady right. The lady has no business idea, completely. But when she gives like 400,000 for the assurance, the lady doesn't do the money. Like me, I told my girlfriend, what can you do best? She gave me a list. Actually, we are trying it next month, not now.
Okay.
So I want to test.
Planned girlfriend.
So most times, these ladies who are misbehaving, these are ladies, one from the wealthy family, two, these are ladies who are raised by single parents. They face challenges. Right now, you can't deceive me or tell me that ladies who have grown up, who are brought up by single parents will do better. It's a lie.
Anyway, it's okay. Let's hear from Winnie. What do you think about what Bishop has said?
Yeah,
Is it true we just don't want to do business?
I think one of the things is actually, before that, let me actually start from the kind of women you pick. You know, like when you go for a job, for example, your job here, there is a JD someone writes on who they need before this job. The problem with us is we start by picking the person, then we want to fix the skills in the person. Yet you're supposed to describe these things before. What type of woman do you need? Because sometimes
you already know she's the one.
Yes, we just simply
you build that woman yourself.
We pick women, and that's now where the challenge comes. You see, now we're saying women are doing this, but we're starting relationship from the reverse. You see, see that.
From the top.
You don't see the person you want, you have no clarity of who you need, you don't know the traits you need. Then by the time you reach that, there are men who are comfortable with their home wives.
We meet in bars, we meet by the roadside. Now, how will I know the type of woman I want?
And there we don't have to blame the women, you blame yourself, right? Then number two, I think also we pick women out of our league. I remember a friend who told me his girlfriend told him clearly, I'm not going to be a wife, I'm not going to be a housewife, I'm not buy a washing machine, buy a cooker, buy these things. For me, I am not the type
I was having.
You get it?
She can't even cook.
So, if you marry a princess, don't expect the lady to do maid work. Like, know your right. Know your type, you pick your type. So if you want the woman who is going to cook, you go to the village. Or you come to the
If you want a traditional woman,
right now,
know where to get her from.
You know how to cook. You.
No, you really go to those right places, but you just don't.
But I can find that in town.
anywhere.
I can find that in the city.
And now you see it's a struggle where you
So the one you ended up with, you thought she would cook.
She was going to cook.
But she told me openly. You know, she went for, how do you call the process of doing your finger?
Getting an artificial
manicure.
But no, Bishop,
she told
before
me,
you continue, she already told you she cannot cook, she cannot wash. You went ahead to date her.
No, that was after. They don't tell you their secrets right now. They tell you their habits when you're with them.
People tell us every day.
That's the truth.
People tell us every day, we just don't pay attention. Nobody's going to pretend for you. People will tell you, like the women. I remember when I met one of my brother's girlfriend. We were just having a conversation with her, and she told us openly, I don't date broke men. If your brother cannot afford me, I am going to leave and I find a good guy. Like someone is showing you this, and you can see that expenditure is far much beyond your standard, but then you want to stick because you want to show that I am a man. And that's why a lot of us have relationships for validation. If I'm dating so-and-so's daughter, they think I am important. And so that's why a lot of us are now hitting our chest on the wall, and then we come and say women are bad people, women are good people. And we always tell you what we need, who we want, and we tell you clearly, then it is you to determine. And I think those are conversations men need to start. There's a guy who said, always wait for 3 months to start having sex in a relationship. Because when you start a sexual relationship, sex corrupts the mind.
Sure.
The person might be so good in bed, and then you forget about the vital other aspects. So the longer you go, then you realize that the sex had covered everything. Now you're facing reality.
But most of us date for fun nowadays. We don't date. Most of us, even both girls and boys.
And I think that's a space also we need to discuss. Women never date for fun.
We don't discover
Number one, unless she's a whore, she's a prostitute, she's on commercial sex. Now she knows that what I'm going to get from you is that sex. Number two, if she's a broken woman, a girl who was raised, then she already has trust issues for men, so she's going to sleep around. But any woman who sleeps with you, apart from those two categories, she has potential. She knows if I give him this thing, maybe I can do it better.
Just do
right now,
so I can win.
Right now, there is no woman who has a reason to fall in relationship. No, even in maybe you too. Maybe you too. No.
They're there.
But you see, that's the sad reality of relationships today. You find there are men who are broken too, by the way. The men who have been heartbroken, who have loved wholeheartedly, but now someone just goes and says, oh, you're not in my league, you can't afford me, you can't do this, and maybe they fall in love with someone else.
These days the same
goes for women.
They have changed the channel.
What channel?
These days women don't tell you, you're my
the same
class.
way men don't.
No, for us, as a man, you always have a purpose where you're going. So when you reach there, most times we give ourselves like 3 months to know what type of a lady I am dating. You understand? We do that. It's not a lie. 3 months. And 2, for a man who will know that you love money. With some ladies, they are not ashamed. Even you talk to her right now, after 3 minutes she'll call you. I am going through A, B, C, D. Can you sort it out for me? And it's not a secret. I want to tell you one thing that happened with me. I found, I approached a lady. This was in 2018. She told me, actually we met at Heritage Courts. Let me not lie. Then I took her contact. Then she also gave me her contact. We shared contacts actually. So when I reached home, it was back to school. She was a student. She was a student of not Standard College, Arua Town College. Then, no, it was 2017. Then the next day she told me she was going back to school. She's lacking ABCD.
Oh.
I said, oh God, relax. I said, how much? Then she gave me the figure. You know, there are also funny ways we also try to know ladies. The first day we pretend we love you. We start from the higher level where you are.
And then bring you down.
Then we bring you down. So there are days we start telling you, let me see. You understand? So the ladies of nowadays, they don't have a reason to be in a relationship. Because even including us men, we don't have purpose, reason to be in a relationship.
Yes,
but at the end of the day, we just follow the river.
Scary.
Where we stop swimming, that's where we end.
Oh, Bishop, this
So
is scary.
at the end of the day, if you conceive for me, and then that is, by the way,
Situationship.
what exposes us is when you conceive already. After conceiving, that is where you find the real us. The one who is bragging, I have this, when you conceive, those things are not there. Because I've won your heart. At the end of the day, you are not doing anything. I am a hustler, I'm struggling. You know the truth, I know your truth. I know the true side of you. You understand? So we don't have that purpose of being in a relationship. I'm not one of them, sorry. Me, I have purpose of being in a relationship. So,
but that's a very important revelation out there, because most people are just in relationships because I have to be with someone, I need to be with someone needs to be calling me every morning, you know, every evening, and I have to be with someone who I can have sex with. That's just that.
Sex is just
but one thing I have to I want us to throw more light on. You know, Bishop earlier talked about a lady, a relationship being a 50-50. It's today that, and ladies, like he has already said, you can go from main chick to side chick when the sugar mama provides well. So guard your positions. Anyway, your position's at stake, but some of us don't. It's okay. And now we come to that aspect of a 50-50 where both parties have to provide in a relationship. You know, today it's most common. Men say, I want to be with someone who can bring something on the table. So what do you mean by something on the table? Because I know girls, many women have gone on TikTok to make fun of it. They have this skirts they put on the table as what they bring on the table. But what do you believe a woman should always bring something on the table? And if it is, what is that women can bring on the table?
A woman is already bringing everything to the table. Do you know a woman has laid her life on the table? I've not seen a woman give back. It is a matter of death and life, and that's why we have these things of, you know, they're doing these campaigns for mothers who are dying. The word has gone off my mind. Because that's already, a woman she has laid her vision for you. When it gets to child rearing, which I talked about, when I'm pregnant, I'm giving up sometimes my dream, I cannot work, that is something I'm laying on table. I am seeing that every day when you're going to work yourself, the family is well taken care of. Remember, you know, sometimes we don't see the importance of family. Someone made a statement and said, men usually realize certain things too late. When they're younger, you know, it's all about external relationships. But then when they grow old, they don't have anyone by their sides. The kids are with their mama. Because you realize that this thing is more than providing school fees. Window Trust is doing it, right? MTI is giving medical for the refugees for free. Government is giving us medicine for free. So these are roles that are just here. Parenting is deeper than that. So then I think these are things that men also need to understand, that it is just not about birthing children, it's not about giving school fees. But that little moment you see today kids like it creates a whole difference for them, you know. Like let's take an example. I think most of us, when you ask what do they remember of our parents, people just have like 1, 2 or 3 things. They even, maybe they remember they used to come home at 2 a.m., that used to just pay our school fees, that they would do that. That's all they remember because that's what you did. But then ask them about their mom, they're going to tell you a lot of things their mothers did. And these are conversations we really need with a boy child to understand that parenting is far much more than birthing. Then number 2, a woman lays everything on table. She's giving you her life. Childbirth is giving up your life because you can die in it. So they actually give her much more. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk at girlfriend level. What is that a girlfriend can bring on the table before we go to Bishop?
A girlfriend, one thing I'm going to bring on table is support. Just not being a girlfriend is remember this is yet a dating process. You're not sure that you've already been promoted into a wife. There is no promotion. So there's a potential you might invest with this person and then you're not promoted and then somebody else eats your money. You get it?
Yeah.
Somebody else eats your effort. So I usually tell girlfriends, do not invest with somebody when you are not yet committed. Until the ring is here, that's when you can say, okay, that's when I can invest with this person. But at a girlfriend level, you can encourage this person to grow. Have a vision for yourself. What is your vision right now? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Where are you seeing yourself 10 years from now? So that you can also gauge for yourself if this person has the potential for growth. Or are we just going to be stagnant? What is the future we want like? So you'll be able to guide this person. By the way, the biggest thing men need from women is just a moral support. Having that person who has your back every day you go home, you know there's somebody there who has your back. It's a beautiful feeling.
You see, a lady can give a man moral support, be there emotionally, but men will never appreciate. Believe me, men of these days don't appreciate. They will need you to bring something tangible. You know, contrary to what Okot said, he's okay with a very supportive girlfriend who is emotionally available for you, who gives you, you know, advice. He's okay with that. But most men out there, you still bring nothing to the table.
You see, the challenge today is I am facing 2 ladies at a go in this discussion. You can't tell me as a girlfriend you're bringing nothing on the table. It means you don't have a reason of being in a relationship.
I'm here because I'm supposed to.
Reason being, I am trying to provide for you, right? You're my responsibility generally. One thing girls need to know is, we men, we don't want much. We only want one thing, which is trust. I mean, not trust, respect. You get it? The
Bishop,
current...
let's not misunderstand this. We also know
I'm
that
coming to that.
respect, I hope you know respect is earned. True.
Yes.
As you continue.
So, we men, we don't need much. We need respect. That is one. So, you as a girlfriend, you need to have a reason of being in a relationship. I've continuously said this. You're in relationship with me. One, what I look at is growth. We need to grow. Together. So, if you have a reason of being in a relationship with me, let's grow. So, growth is all about today. Like I said before, it's not all about like what you give. The support you give to me through your advice adds a lot. 2, the little you show me when I'm in challenges, it's also enough. So if I'm doing for you most of the basic needs. But if I face challenges one day, also support me. Don't come and there are certain things that do not need advice. They need support. You understand?
Yeah.
So the relationships we have right now, they run on one side. They don't run on both sides. It's one-sided. So the boy child will also think, every day I am doing this, I am doing that, I am overcoming this, but my girl doesn't appreciate. The lady will always say, I will fall inside, outside here. When she leaves, that I will fall is useless. The next day she comes back to you, she gives you a request. When you don't do it, you become an enemy of progress. So, a lady, the relationships nowadays, I will tell boldly, both of us need to provide to ourselves.
Okay.
And we are dating boys who are still in ghettos, who are still students, and we are dating girls who are still students. And nowadays, we don't want to date someone who looks like our mothers. We want to date class. That is where our challenge is.
Do you have a class?
And two, ladies also, they don't want to date here. They want to date where they can fish. Now, if on my side is done, I will become something else, an empty thing. You get it? So, both of us need to provide. Like I said, there's nothing much we as men we did for ladies. Today, if I have challenges, I come to you. Even if you can't give me, but say a word to me. That's why I was telling you before, we don't have ladies nowadays, like 70%, they cannot talk to you. All they know is, buy me pizza, bring me this, tomorrow do me this, next time do me this. Ice cream, this, tomorrow I'm going to swim. But when you bring her one-on-one, let's talk, she cannot. So, relationship needs to run on both sides. Even if I disagree with my sister, like she was saying, you need not to commit yourself in a relationship. So, why are you in a relationship? You have to be committed. At the end of the day, we keep learning. You understand? So that the girls we have nowadays, they don't want to see mistakes. Even if I'm on wrong, they don't want to see mistakes. Today, if I do wrong, it will stick here. She will say, I have forgiven you, but it is there.
They keep reminding you every time you have
every
an
day.
argument.
Last time you did this, the other day you did this,
Again.
last year you did this. You see that? But she cannot bring something proper to correct that mistake. For example, we as men, if I'm going for another relationship, I will still have another relationship behind. Because this relationship has been torturing me, you understand? I will move forward into another relationship. It's also on both sides.
True.
On the other side, the same thing happens. So, if I see this one is torturing me because I have failed to build this, and she has failed to put me right, she has failed to understand me, so I find an alternative. That's why my friend was saying, if you have a relationship that is torturing you, have another one that will comfort you.
Oh my God.
You understand?
That's a sixth generation.
So,
A very sick thing.
this is also, it is both-sided. It's not one-sided.
Okay.
So, a girl will tell you, even a girl, I had a discussion with a girl. I found them discussing. I just entered into the discussion. I got myself into it. The lady was telling, my guy is this always stressing me, this doesn't want to do this. The lady said, me, you see me here? There is one that stresses me. There is one that I call on phone, he comforts me. And then I got into the discussion. I said, now, what is the purpose of you being in a relationship? What do you have there? Talk to me. If I'm wrong, put me down. Counsel me, talk to me. The next time I repeat the same mistake, also do the same. But me, as a quote, I have a girl, she doesn't talk. But the day she brings me back on the table, she puts me there, she will talk the hell out of me.
Okay.
I will kneel down and apologize.
That's nice. Picking from what you just said, you know, someone has a boyfriend. When this one maybe annoys you, then you call another to comfort you. It's a reality, because you guys have also gone online. So these memes, they're not memes. These are the realities. You know, people have a funny way of letting these things out. Someone says, when your partner, your boyfriend or your girlfriend comes to you crying or heartbroken, but he or she cannot tell you why they are heartbroken, but you know the other person has broken their heart, they cannot open up to you, and then you know you start laughing at them because now they can't explain to you exactly why they're heartbroken. But that's one unfortunate thing. And now I want to turn to Winnie. We've looked at how relationship has evolved in this era, how people are more into situationships, less committed relationship where you know they're undefined. Someone is just there maybe because they want to be there, but not for something very, very serious. And now, I know he already said women are like this, he said gents are like this, but let's bring this to table. Which gender are we literally blaming for this? Is it the men or the women who have largely contributed to situationships in this era?
Now, I always tell people the holder of love is a man, right? Husband love your wife as Christ loves his church, for God to love the world. You see, it's all male. It's all male dominated. And the reason why you'd see if a woman is loved right, however notorious she is, she begins glowing, she becomes nice. Actually, that's how you know that the lady is in love. And then automatically she submits. Now, when you find, I want to start with my personal experience.
Okay.
When I was younger, I didn't have a marriage dream. Basically, I just observed, like in my society, I was just seeing how men can marry 5 women. Then a woman cannot marry many. You know, she can't marry more than one. And to me, I felt the man was already privileged. So, and women, by the way, the same way a man feels when he's cheated, you know, that hurt, that disappointment, you question yourself, what do I lack? What is that thing I don't have? We always want to see our core, because you first want to see what is that thing this guy has seen that I don't have. And so basically when I had to work on myself, because I had to do some few healing sessions for me out of this, that's when I now realized that that was actually an art of brokenness, you know. And a lot of this had to do with my society. Remember, we learn so much more from our families. I'll still take you back to the first point I said, daughters see through a father, a husband, and a father. So the male figure around us plays a lot. So if we really want to end some of these things, it comes back to rehabilitating the boy child. However, the African tradition has made the man so superior that the woman is inferior. For example, you'd realize that, you know, we're being told that as a woman, you're fading one day at 25, maybe your body is going to go low, but a man expires like, he doesn't expire, he grows like sweet wine, you know. The older he grows, the better he grows. But a woman, you're told that, you know, you're losing value every day. A woman, you're told you're supposed to be complete, you need a son. So you realize that the bar for a woman is all around men. So if the man behaves right, definitely the woman can be groomed well. Because what every woman needs is her man's validation. Just keep telling her, you're beautiful, you're great, you're this. You see that woman doing for you wonderful things. But then, unfortunately, we don't have conversations. How often do we talk with even our partners? It is hard. Even before, when we're in the dating process, what quality of conversations do we have? It's always, I miss you, I love you, I miss you, I love you, until we're pregnant, then we face realities. We didn't talk about in-laws, we didn't talk about money, You didn't even see that she wasn't a business person, yet you wanted a business person. So there are lots of these things that we need to set them first before we get into these relationships. But for us to correct these things, we first need to rehabilitate the boy child. And then concerning relationship, I always tell, I do school programs with young people. We handle different components. It's called Grand Future. And in this program, we talk about some of these things. And I tell them, do not date early. Because the slightest heartbreak, there's something called dopamine in a human being. Once you start relating with a man, you see, you can see when two lovers are walking, you'll know these are lovers. Because that dopamine starts connecting you people. Whether you have not met sexually, those chemicals, they begin connecting to each other. So when this person walks away from you, even without sex, you're already heartbroken. So imagine how many heartbreaks we have gone through. Even with the small girlfriends, we started dating in P5, P6, senior 1. So we already have accumulation of heartbreaks. And right now we're just trying to live life when we're broken. Yeah.
That coming right from Winnie there is a very important point. I believe we have picked. Why not a part of this conversation? All you have to do is go to our YouTube and Facebook channel, like, subscribe, and you can also share to your friends and let us know what you think on this topic of today, understanding relationships, which is more of situationship in the world of today among young people, I must say. And that's a bitter factor that we have noticed. It's scary how most people these days are not thinking about marriage, how most people are not thinking about committing to someone, how someone can just go in for sex and walk away casually, without having that the sense of guilt or anything, how someone just does something without thinking about the consequences. And now, having noticed all that, we're saying it's not a right direction that we are taking as young people, because we saw how our parents used to love. It was quite different, and I don't know how the situation changed during our time. And we also have another generation that is going to see how we love, or how we show affection to the other person. In relation to romantic relationship. So they also see and learn they learn by seeing what we do. And now, as we conclude this session, I'll start with a quote. How best can we address these issues of situationship? How best can we get people back into the track of getting into real relationship, where there is commitment, where there is trust, where there's honesty, a relationship with goal, a relationship with a vision, a relationship to settle down with someone and see that something good or positive comes out of it?
Thank you. To me, I'll basically say this. One is for you to have a better relationship, there are certain things you need to look at. Basically, most of us youths, I always have a word for the type of relationships we have. I always tell my friends I don't do secondary relationship, whereby it is just a funny relationship where there is no commitment. And you always need to go to someone who you can easily build. Don't take everything into public. Learn how to have privacy for yourself. No matter how sweet the relationship is, no matter how bitter it is, learn how to have privacy for it. Don't always go out and explain yourselves to 2 to 4 to 5 people. Always have one person to talk to if there are challenges and difficulties. And 3, don't do relationship for fun. Make sure you have a reason to be in a relationship. If you don't have a true reason to be in a relationship, you will not have a better relationship. Make sure you have communication. Trust your partner no matter how bad he or she is. Keep it in mind that you will transform this person into a better person you want. And stop having funny relationships alone. And you can't tell me, the funny part is, you can't tell me you're dating someone who is in secondary or who is still in school, in primary level, and you want that person to be your wife. I promise you, you will never have such kind of a better wife at home. So go for someone who has seen the future, who has got tired with something he or she is doing. I'm telling you the truth. Someone who is tired with life, someone who has seen a lot. Because I have seen this happening. At the end of the day, people get tired with life and they settle. And they become perfect partners, perfect parents. So, always, at the end of the day, if you have challenges, have a table to sit, to share. Understand yourselves. Today, if we talk about this, tomorrow let's not talk about it again. What always brings us down is today we are talking about, hey, you cheated on me, tomorrow you cheated on me, next time we are talking about the same thing. We don't have something new on table. We don't have a nice, funny discussions. Our relationship is all about quarreling, we're always fixing this. One day, also change those things. If your partner has had issues in 2 years, 3 years before you met him or her, leave those things to the past. Don't always carry the past to the present. So I always tell mine, let's discuss the present. Let's not discuss the past because it takes us backwards. So let's have better communications. Let's trust. Let's have a lot of things that can push us into better things.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if you're wrong, accept you're wrong. Sorry is a better word to everything. That is what can bring us together.
Okay. Just 1 minute as we close. Your last word. You can also say hi to your better half. I believe she's watching you right now. Yeah, just in a minute as we close.
That woman who has made me better today, I'll always be glad that you're one lady who listens, and you found a man who always listens to you and he's always sorrowful, because he's a noisemaker. He's always writing shit on social media. Sometimes you feel bad about it, but you've always understood my lifestyle. And to my fellow conmen outside there, we are always conmen and noisemakers on social media, but in real life we are better. I want to say that I have learned a lot from you, and I know you've learned a lot from me too. Let's always empower ourselves outside there, no matter what challenges we have, whether relationship, whether financially, whether what. Let's always build ourselves together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Coming from the headmaster, Conmen Association. Maze, thank you. And the lady whom we are dating right now is a very strong lady, because seeing the things Bishop does online, people are always asking that, how strong is Bishop's girl?
You know, the funny thing is, my girlfriend is not my friend on Facebook.
Oh my God. That explains why you two are still together anyway. I will continue that discussion. I'll turn into Winnie. We've had a very fruitful discussion here in the studio. As you summarize by giving us some of the ways how we can make our relationships long-lasting relationships with value, how we can learn to appreciate our relationships better and stay away from situationships. And also end with your concluding remarks, your last message to someone listening out there, or a particular person like Bishop just did.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening to us, and I hope you've learned something. One thing we're going to do, one thing I would recommend is do a healing for yourself. If you ever found yourself growing up without a biological parent, if you were raised by a single mom, for example, you're raised by a guardian, you're raised by somebody, you're not your biological parents, you need to take yourself for a healing, because there's a part of you, you're emotionally already disabled, because there are things, the human softwares like love and all those things that make us, like the trust, are established by basically in the bonds with parents. So if you didn't have them, work on those things, because you can never have a good relationship without those things established. Number 2, take a journey to self-discovery. Get to know who you are. Before relating with anybody, what are my values? What do I stand for? What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? You have to get to know yourself well, because in the long run, you might realize that even you are never meant to be a husband, or you are never meant to be a wife, or you are never meant to be a father, or you are never meant to be a mother. Now, these traits they are not for everybody. So when you are clear about that, you're not going to get heartbreaks, because you know what, I'm meant to be a celibate and I stay my way. Or else, as I get into relationship, I'll be able to know when this person is playing it. By the way, when you get to self-discovery, your mind becomes quiet and you are going to observe more, and then you get to pay attention there. My final remarks is let's say no to colorism. You know, there is a very big thing out there today about color. There's an ideal color that is said to be in this world. And so there are a lot of people who are left out because they're said to be too dark, you know. You may be too dark, or you're the albinos, you've heard of those different colors. Yeah. There are people, there's a category left out, and they don't feel good enough. Then I said no to bodyism, allowing everybody to be in their bodies, you know. Excuse me. If you have someone has a disability, it's okay. If I have the nyash is not there, it is okay.
Exactly.
If somebody is the way they are, they don't have the six packs, they don't have the beards, it's okay. We shouldn't limit people with the bodies. And then we should say no to ageism. We have a component of limiting people according to age. You know, by 25 you should have done this. By 30 you should have done this. Let's move away from those things. Because why? These things trigger in low self-esteem. And as long as your esteem is low, you can never do certain things in your life. You will remain where you are and you become stagnant. So I just hope we liberate people, because every day when you post something on the media, someone is consuming, they're eating your information. And so there's someone who won't show up because you said they don't have beards, and now they're ashamed to appear on a show like this. So let us move past those things, and thank you so much, West Nile TV, for the opportunity. Thank you for enlightening the people of West Nile. We're very proud of you. And thank you so much, my colleagues. And my family out there, I know they're watching. I love you people so much. Thank you for this support.
Thank you so much, Winnie and Bishop, for joining in this discussion today on understanding relationship. I know it's one topic that we've all been wanting to put here and have a discussion on. And if you've missed this episode, we still do a rerun. Just check on Thursdays, we do a rerun for this program. You can still be a part of it. Onenchan Dennis, thank you for catching the show from wherever you are. And I hope you've taken whatever they have said here about bodyism, you know, colorism, and how best you can fix this relationship things. A lot has been said here, which I believe can help someone out there. And I know there are a lot of people who find themselves in situationships not because they want to be there, but you know that there's people who find themselves alone in the relationship. You are committed to someone who isn't committed to you, so it becomes a situationship because there's no commitment on the other side. And some of you are going for married men and married women. You don't expect to be in a very serious relationship in this case, but all the same, thank you for being a part of this discussion. I hope we all get to appreciate real relationships where we are committed and get to value one another. And thank you on this beautiful Saturday. I know some people are already out, some people are going out. Please enjoy with caution. A lot comes with enjoyment, and don't go away. Stay tuned for the next program. And this has been The Real Talk with me, Lillian Ayot, here on West Nile TV. Don't forget, every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. we are here. Have a very lovely evening and good night for those already going to bed.